Are you looking for a simple, creative way to make the front of your house look so much better and gain that curb appeal you've been longing for? What if I told you this project only takes one afternoon and you can build it for less than $50? Yep, it's true, and today I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. The tools you need for this project are pretty minimal. A lot depends on how you want to fasten the boards to one another. For this project, all I needed was a square, a drill, an impact, a saw of some kind, and I've got a Craig pocket hole jig that I've got linked down below that I used to make pocket holes to secure the boards together. Now, while I'm getting the rest of this set up, I had a question to ask. Have any of you ever read the book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie? And it basically is a story about how if you give a mouse a cookie, he'll want this, and if you give him this, he'll want that, and if you give him that, he wants something completely different. Well, I think that's how this all started. You see, my wife has this weird affection for plants. She used to kill them all the time, and then my sister-in-law gave her one plant that she ended up keeping. And now all of a sudden we've got 30 plants inside and 100 plants outside, and I'm sure it probably kills her a little bit that for this project I used fake flowers. But then that addiction suddenly turned into wanting flowers or plants everywhere. Don't believe me? Listen to this. Hey, sweetie, how's it going?
It could be better. I walked around the house and counted, and we only have 682 flowers and plants around. And, I think I want some below our window out front. Can you please get on that ASAP? Thanks. Love you.
Yeah, sure. I'll stop at Home Depot on my way home. Alright, enough joking around. That wasn't actually my wife, and that wasn't really how this started. We both just agreed it would look good on our front porch and maybe give us a little bit of extra curb appeal. So far what I've done is I have taken 3 boards and cut them all down to 46 inches. And then now what I'm going to do is start drilling my pocket holes into 2 of the boards. And I wasn't even 20 minutes into this project before I looked up on the back deck and saw my wife was already setting up the flowers and playing with them to figure out how they would best look. And I wasn't going to take a video, but I mean, look at her, she's gorgeous. I had to sneak that video in. Again, you'll want to make these pocket holes or however you're going to fasten it on 2 of the boards. So here I am just wrapping up, drilling the rest of the holes on the second side. I'll lay one board flat and then go through and fasten down the other 2 boards to each side of the board that's laying flat. That'll make the bottom. And with that, I'm just using some pocket hole screws. Now, most of this box will be covered with flowers, so I want to urge you, even if you're nervous about it, these cuts don't have to be perfect. Nothing about this box has to be perfect. It's just got to stay held together. That's why something like this is so DIY friendly. The last step to getting our box to take form is creating the ends. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. Mine was far from it. All you need to do is find your outside dimensions and cut that twice. And this is where a square really comes in handy, making sure your guidelines are straight. The straighter they are, the easier it's going to be. Again, I've got one linked down below if you're interested in the one I'm using. It's a little oversized, which makes it nice. And then I fastened them to the edges of the boxes the same way, just with pocket hole screws. And once you got your sides fastened onto your box, you can skip ahead and just move on to hanging the box. And again, I went inside to use the restroom and came back out, and again, my wife was already playing with it. But it's all good, because as you'll see here in this photo, she was able to give me the idea of exactly how she wanted these so that later I could put these flowers in without her standing over. And unfortunately, we had a storm coming in, so I couldn't paint that afternoon. But the next morning, we took a little break from some of these projects and went and picked some strawberries. Thought I'd share that with you. So here's where you can let your creative side go wild, and you can choose to paint or finish this however you want. You could just put polyurethane on it, call it good, or you could paint it with some extravagant artwork. Ours, we wanted to keep more of a neutral color, so we just used some flat black spray paint and spray painted it black. And also, don't know if you caught that, but that's sick. I had an extra helping hand with this. Oh, the power of technology, making it look like it's a lot easier than it actually is. So all in all, I ended up doing 2 coats of flat black paint on the box, and that was good enough for me. I wasn't worried about painting the top or the inside because, again, we were going to be using fake flowers, and the flowers are going to overhang the edges and you won't really see it. So I didn't worry about it, but you by all means could paint all the sides, and including the inside if you wanted. Once you've got your box completed, finished, painted however you want, you can choose to hang out however you want. Now, for about $12 at Home Depot, I was able to find this cleat system, and it's really nifty. It's just one piece of flat aluminum that you put on the box, and then you fasten the other flat piece of aluminum to your wall below your windowsill. So here all I'm doing is attaching that to the box and then measuring to make sure I know exactly where to place the cleat below the window so that the box doesn't sit too high or too low. And then with our vinyl siding, the cleat would be recessed too far back for us to be able to hang the box. So I just used a scrap piece of a 2x4 and fastened that directly to the wall beneath the window. And then from there attached the second part of that cleat to that 2x4. And that 2x4 was perfect. It gave us just enough clearance so the box was off the wall about an inch, wasn't rubbing on the wall, but wasn't sticking way too far out to where it looked unnatural. Then from there, all that's left to do is put something in the box. So obviously we used fake flowers, so we took foam and put the foam in first and then started putting the flowers in. Overall, I think this was a super simple project that anyone can tackle, and I think the rewards you get and the beauty that it brings to the front of your house is well worth the cost. So not including the flowers, this box for 3 6-foot 1x6s will only run you about $27 at any of your big box stores. And then obviously you've got the cost of screws or nails, however you decide to do it. And then from there, if you're doing real flowers, a bag of soil might cost you $10, and then a few real flowers might run you another $15-20. Obviously fake flowers can be a little bit more expensive, but you don't have the heartache of the water and the care and maintenance for the flowers. And the beautiful thing about this is my wife plans on changing the colors in the fall with orange flowers, whatever, and then around Christmas time we can fill it with garland. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this project. If you got something out of it or you want to see more about it or more projects like this, again, I ask that you like and follow or subscribe, whatever you want to call it. And as always, I greatly appreciate you watching. And with that, here is what it looked like before, and then there will be a few different angles of some after. Again, hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. It would go a long way. Be on the lookout next Tuesday for our next video.